Welcome to P3 Radio.
The monkey only dances as good as the guy grinding the organ handle.
Brother.
I fly, bro. That is never stopping.
Truck goes to Dwayne.
Cool story, bro.
Footy pajamas.
Hey, genius, it's 2 p.m. Central.
PG3 Radio.
Here's your host, Josh Riley.
Get him off big, Freddy. Get him off big.
Richard Mullican.
And as I put you down, my pants ripped.
It's showtime! It's showtime! It's showtime!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of P3 Radio. I'm Richard Mullican, joined by my co-host, the man they call the fireman because he goes around all over town putting out old flames, and best friend Josh Brawley. Say, hey, Josh.
I wish that I could be that mediocre of a country musician.
Wow. Josh making fans.
Oh,
quickly.
blowing up them. It's July 5th, brother. I'm getting all the other fireworks
Well,
out.
it was July 5th when we recorded this a week ago.
No, I'm not telling a lie. It is July 5th.
Yes, when we
I'm
recorded
getting it,
this.
I'm getting the rest of it out.
Live to tape.
Live to tape.
Josh, how's it going? Episode 154, man.
Well, I would say that I slept good last night, but I didn't. Because the neighbors like to spend their paychecks on fucking fireworks.
Between them and the Roids, you didn't sleep a wink, did you?
Man. No, actually, the Roids, it's all good in that department.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's the prescription shaving cream that I've been putting on there.
Prescription shaving cream.
I didn't say nothing. I said that I had the goddamn foam gimmick. The foam.
Oh, the foam.
It's paramoxin hydrochloride, something or another. Yeah, you put it on a tissue, dab it on there. And...
Shit!
And then
No, that's after you shit. But yeah, I'm fucking dude. I'm not.
Oh, really?
I'm not such a beaten man this week.
Freudian slip there.
I think your brain thinks that way, and you're so badly wanting to. Never mind. I'm gonna bury myself.
Well, guess what, motherfucker? We all are!
Those are my favorite.
I know.
I love them.
Everybody knows. I love them too.
I love them.
But yeah, man, been actually getting good sleep up until fucking Friday night. Like I said,
Yeah.
the neighbors. I'll be damned if all of them didn't spend their paychecks on fireworks. 'Cause
fireworks.
It has been July 4th ever since we got off of work Friday.
But, dude, you know this has been a big problem in, like, New York? And like some
I
of
think
these
just
bigger
crime in general is a big part in New York.
A lot of these cities that like these bigger cities that don't allow fireworks, I guess everybody being cooped up, they're like, fuck the police ain't some at the underground. So they that's all I've been hearing. Like, I know I've got a relative that lives in Pennsylvania, and she was talking about like I don't know why every night there's been loud fireworks going off, and this is starting back in like late June, like as soon as the stands probably opened. But yeah, she was like that. And then I heard I listened to Jim and Sam sometimes in the morning, and they were talking about how like in New York it was getting really bad like every night with fireworks, because I guess people are so cooped up, you know, they go buy fireworks and they shoot them off their roof or
Look,
something.
man, I was cooped up with everybody else.
Yeah.
I ain't shotting the first goddamn firework.
You
know why?
Yeah.
Because I'm not a fucking kid and I'm not an asshole.
Well, I feel like you're wrong about one of those two. I'll let you decide which one. But no, man, I went and drove past the county line yesterday and picked up some sparklers for my daughter, you know, and I got these little snake things. Like I said, I didn't get anything. I got two things that popped, like, and they were like, they weren't loud. They weren't like the concussion. Your neighbors are the ones that were shooting them off, because I could hear them here.
Probably.
Like I could see them and hear them here, and I'm like, there's somebody over there by the mill pond that's shooting off fireworks.
Fucking industrial grade.
Yes.
Like baseball
Yeah.
park level.
Right. Like I would just hear, and I'm like, Jesus, sound like Iraq out here.
You would think that they were all war veterans.
Yeah.
And they were that proud of their country that they were, you know, if it was just on decibel level. But no. And where was your wife during all this?
She was off.
Exactly. I could tell.
She's been working the desk this week.
Should have been working behind the wheel because that's absolute bullshit. And I'm going to tell you something. The bottom line is this. This is the bottom. Don't go no further than this because it can't.
Yeah.
I live in the fucking city because I enjoy this. How am I going to put this?
I don't know.
I enjoy the comforts of what the city life involves with me right now. To where the fireworks are illegal.
Right.
And if you want to do that, we got to go do the Uncle Freddie thing. We got to go where he lives in the country and then shoot all the goddamn fireworks we want. But that does not apply nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, one night a year. I don't really care. Let
3.
them
Industrial grade. 3.
I will say this. Somebody let
Not
one
the first cop drove by.
No.
And if they did,
No.
they didn't do anything. And it's a fine. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not Johnny Law here, but goddamn, if it was me out there doing it,
You should have went out there and shook your fist at them.
oh, it wouldn't
Damn
work.
kids.
I'd be on the front of the newspaper if I did that.
I mean, it's one night a year. I don't really care.
3.
3. It's one acceptable night a year. And I'm fine with the night before, too, because people are got to test the shit.
Yeah.
Let's see if this works.
I was hoping they'd put it in their mouths.
I mean, I would much rather somebody shoot off the fireworks, because I can put headphones in and not listen to it. But I would much rather somebody shoot off the fireworks than somebody blow up a mailbox with a cherry bomb. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't have any cherry
Or
bombs,
set
but
something on fire. You know what I mean? Like, I would much rather them do something like that than. So
I mean, why not just stay in your fucking house, watch TV, do what you normally do?
It's 4th of July.
Go to the country. That's why it's illegal in the city, motherfucker.
That was Josh last night. No, you were probably really like this last night.
Hey, Decker, this is Vince Neil. Hey, I want to say,
Happy birthday, brother. Yeah, I was drunk off my ass. I was. That's why I went to sleep early.
Yeah, there you go.
But I woke up early as a motherfucker, so, you know.
What time did you wake up?
Early as a motherfucker.
Oh, wow. Is that AM?
Earlier than you.
Oh, yeah, definitely earlier than me. I sleep in on the weekends.
You awoke on the floor.
Yeah. I sleep in
Happy
on the
4th,
weekends.
everybody. Oh, that's the 5th. Damn.
Slept right through this. Nah, I'm still drinking my water, man.
I know, dude. It hurt my back watching you lug that son of a bitch up the steps.
I've gotten used to it. I carried it to
that
work
one
with
arm
me.
is big and veiny as a motherfucker right
Well,
now.
that's for other reasons. But no, dude, I carried it to work with me all week last week, too.
And they think you are you ribbing? Why you
Well,
got that pail of water with you?
Right now, where we're at, you know, we have lots of locations that I can go to that have nobody there. So I was just going to those locations and just chilling by myself, drinking water and working on things.
That way that you wouldn't get judged with your pail.
No,
of
I don't
water.
care. Nobody's going to say anything to me about it, you know, because, you know, we have a. We're not in high school anymore,
A
Josh.
livestock grade fucking pail of water that you carry with you.
And I'm already a third of the way through it. It's funny though, when I do wake up at 6, I don't drink anything else until I finish this.
Right.
And I finish this on the weekends. It's a little harder to finish the whole gallon because, let's be honest, I'm not up early. You know what I mean? Like, it starts becoming a chore after a while.
Right.
But like while I'm at work, you know, I just sip on it as I'm working. Like, dude, seriously.
That's an excuse to run to the bathroom.
I've had this done by noon sometimes. In 6 hours, I've had a gallon of water down.
And you switch to brown liquor.
No, it looks like brown liquor coming out of my butthole. Dude, water will make you crap like nothing else. Like, and I don't know if, like, I've told you, in 2 weeks, I've lost 12 pounds.
You just full of shit then.
Dude, no, I mean, it's just water, exercise, and diet. That's all I'm doing. And when I say exercise, I'm only doing 30 to 40 minutes a day. That's it. 6 days a week. And then the diet, I'm just watching my portions, you know. And I'm not eating like the portions aren't, well, I can have a little bit of cake. No, it ain't that. It's just, you know, I have like tonight I'm going to have a steak. That's it. I'm not going to have like mashed potatoes with it and all that. And I'll do this for a while until my metabolism gets built up. And then by vacation time, when I have that first burger, like I've done this before, like, and I had a guy tell me about it. His name was Dell. You know Dell.
Yeah, bro.
He's Spellbinder. He's been on the show. He told me one time, he's like, you need to go have a burger and a shake. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I've got made. He's like, no, trust me. I had it and I lost 5 pounds. He's like, what happens is your body gets so used to burning off things that you throw something like that at it. And it's like, oh shit, we got to work overtime now. It's like, yay, he's giving us a challenge. And it just burns quicker, like, because you have all those calories all of a sudden. So, yeah, eventually on my vacation, which is in a couple of weeks, I'll have a cheat day. And
So when they shut all of the goddamn beaches down in Florida, are you just going to go to the restaurants?
well, the restaurants should be shut down before the beaches.
Well, what are you going to do?
The
Because
beaches are public property.
I
I'm hoping
understand
they
that.
don't, dude.
And they've already announced that at least a few beaches have been closed.
In Miami. Like Miami.
That was
and-
this weekend. And everything starts down there and it makes its way up.
Well, the epicenter right now is Florida, but it's like southern Florida right now for the most part. I have friends that went to the beach this week
Good.
in Florida. So
Need to
it's
get
like,
a test.
Are you going to do the show with me next week?
Probably
Or
not.
the week I come back?
Nope.
It's going to be a Skype show?
Have to be. Not risking it. Unless you get tested,
I'm not getting tested. I'll probably be fine. All we're going to do is we're going to actually take food with us. We are, well, we do that every time because we usually stay in a place that has like an oven and like everything so we can cook there. So
Your summer property.
Yeah. No.
Cool.
It's a rental that we rent.
We rent it like every year. But,
Not the same one.
Our driver takes us down there.
I wish we had a driver. God, that's a long trip. Sometimes I wish I could just go to sleep and wake up there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be duct taped and thrown in a trunk. But if I could have that experience without their hostility, I'd be like, yeah, let me get to Florida that way.
Now, we're not letting you out till we get there. Great, let's go.
Just give me my gallon of water and my air supply here.
Give me my pail with a straw and a shit bag because I have to shit twice.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to piss like a Grace horse. Give me another gallon for that.
A Grace horse?
A Grace horse. One that's thankful for things.
Thank you so much for racing
It's
me
very graceful.
and keeping me underweight.
You brushed like a motherfucker. You get my tail too. No.
A Grace horse.
Well, today we're going to have on the show Josh Smith. Josh, did you ever meet Josh?
I don't know who that is.
He,
I will, I guess.
He sings in a lot of local bands around here. So, when we used to go to the tavern a lot, you'd probably know him from
Maybe.
that. He played a lot. He's really good. He's a local artist.
I usually had on beer goggles during that time, so I wouldn't recognize him. Sing Freebird, see if I remember.
We're going to have him on. We'll talk a little bit about, same things we normally talk about, concerts, how he sees this whole thing working out with, playing music, if he sees that coming back, what the business is like, stuff like that. We'll keep it
It's
fun.
a hard time right now.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if that was what paid the bills. That'd be rough, man. A lot of local musicians have actually gotten real jobs and went back to that kind of life.
Started hooking.
until things,
Yeah.
one guy that we know was a touring musician.
Yeah.
And he had to get a real job because there ain't no
There's no
concerts
gigs
going
or
on.
nothing like that. It's probably the same with comedy, man. Like,
Unless you're D.L. Hughley.
yeah. Whew.
Then you just go on the stage with the shit.
So are they making y'all wear masks at work?
They are.
They are.
Yep.
Do you like it or?
Absolutely not.
You don't
Because
like it?
not only is it 100 degrees, but it's 100
Yeah.
degrees with somebody trying to smother you.
Yeah.
And seriously, the only time that I get to take the son of a bitch off is when I'm in the office at my desk.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to fuck with you in there. But I mean, I'm not lying whenever I say, like, the safety lady, if she pops in there, I put the motherfucker on.
Yeah.
You just because, oh, well, fuck.
Well, we haven't had to wear them at work because, like I said, we're all spread out. Like, half the motherfuckers in my office don't even come in. They work from home. So it's like, our county had a mandate that started.
Yeah, I know. I look like I was going to rob a stagecoach when I was going to
Yeah.
buy my beer before I came over here.
Which I'm fine with.
I'm going to tell you, I felt uncomfortable masking up
Yeah.
as I was going in because I'm thinking, what if they just like forget? They got that split second brain fart,
Hit the silent alarm.
and
as
they
you
hit
walk
the
in.
alarm and blow my ass away with that big 44 they got behind the counter. He wore a mask, bro. He was coming in to take our money.
You need to go to more reputable places to buy your liquor.
Just beer. I just want some
Get
beer.
that scratch and dent liquor.
99 cents per can
Yeah.
beer, you motherfucker.
But But man, I mean,
But yeah, I literally, that's all I could think about.
here's the thing. Like, you know, I told you we're so spread out. Like on all week last week, I was pretty much by myself. So I sent a message to my boss. And I was like, "Hey, this mandate's only for you know, our county that have open businesses. This isn't really for us because our business is closed to the public, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, but we still have to wear them." I said, "Okay, well that's fine." I was like, and I shouldn't have asked this because you know when you ask things, it's like, well now I know. But I
Right.
said, well, hey, what if I'm at a location where there's nobody at? I'm the only one there because I'm going to be there all week probably. Nobody there, just me, all alone for hundreds of rooms. I was like, he's like, you still have to wear it then. That I don't understand. It's like there's literally no one around me.
Control.
I guess.
That's all it is.
I guess so.
Well, what else would it be, Richard?
I don't know. I don't know why. Like I said,
In that situation, what else? What else is it?
I get it. Hey, if you want me to wear one to Walmart, fine. I'll wear one to Walmart. That's fine. I don't mind. But when I'm by myself and there's nobody around me, you know what I mean? It's like, we'll see what happens.
We sure will.
But no, and you know what's funny is like our county had the health department come out and they were like, well, the health department was the one that wrote the mandate. It's not.
I know, and a lot of people were pissed because it wasn't this. These aren't my words,
Yeah.
just so we're clear. But this one guy, and I know there were some others that felt this way too, on Facebook to the attached post that they put out.
Yeah.
He put, "I'm not comfortable with a registered nurse telling me this is an actual law." You
It's not a law.
You're not a doctor or a mandate or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're saying that it's enforceable and it would be a misdemeanor.
You know who's enforcing it, right?
Who?
The health department.
They don't have police officers.
No, I'm saying they can write you a ticket.
Oh,
but,
so they're saying they're going to have people on patrol?
yeah, it's not. Police officers not enforcing this.
Really?
Sheriff's department's not enforcing this.
How do you know that? Did somebody tell you that specifically, or
Yes.
you're just assuming it?
No, I know. And
So
because
if
on
a-
the little note that they sent out on Facebook, it says, "Do not call 911 or dispatch."
Really?
Yes. Did you not see that?
That was the fine print.
That's number 5 on the list. Like they had a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They took 7 off yesterday. You know what 7 was?
What?
What if I have a disability that requires me that I can't wear a mask? And the actual number 7 that they put out on Friday said, "Well, then you use curbside pickup or don't go in."
Oh, man.
That caused a shitstorm of people going, "Hey, that's a lot like discriminating on a disability to me."
Yeah.
And yesterday they resubmitted that whole list. 7 was no longer there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like
Damn.
I was kind of being a dick, and like when it got posted, I was like, "Hey, why was 7 omitted?" And I posted the screenshot that I'd taken from the original. But yeah, and then I had cop friends that were like, "Notice number 5. Keep number 5 in mind." And number 5 was, "Do not call dispatcher 911 if you want a title on somebody."
So, what was the, I mean, so, like, say you got a business owner and they're absolutely gung-ho about that, and then you got that one American come in there.
Right.
It's like, hell no. Are they refusing service to these people?
They're refusing service. Now, you can do that. Now, the business has the right under this circumstance to say, "Hey, we're refusing you this because you don't have a mask on."
Is that not unconstitutional?
Dude, these are weird times, man.
I know, but I mean, like, that's,
I mean,
that's the argument.
Here's-
It's unconstitutional to make me wear a mask, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
That is their go-to.
Right.
And whenever you talk about number 7 being omitted,
Yeah.
I mean,
And they can't ask.
right.
I mean, they can't say,
show me your paperwork.
Due to the American Disability Act, you can't go up to somebody and go, "What's your disability that you can't wear a mask?" You know what I mean?
Right.
It's also like HIPAA laws and
laws,
stuff
you
like
can't
that, too. You
violate
can't
that.
violate that.
Right.
So, dude, I don't know. It's a cluster. Like, I get it if you want to keep everybody safe, but to tell people, "Hey, you're going to get a misdemeanor if you don't wear a mask," that seems a little much. You know what I mean?
Well, it does seem a little much from the people that hand out rubbers because, like I said,
Right.
unless they got people on patrol,
Yeah. They didn't tell sheriff's department or police department they were doing this either. They just did it.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
Look, to be fair,
And we're not the only county that's doing it. Shelby County's doing it as well.
I don't want to sound like that I'm like one of the extreme this way or that way on the matter, because I'm not. I'm pretty much right there in the middle. I'm not sure that they're telling us everything, but also I'm not sure that it's just
You're also not going to do the show with me live when I come back from Florida.
well, I don't know. I'm just ribbing you. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that.
We're 6 feet away.
We'll see how
You want me to do it
Florida
in a
gets.
mask?
Yeah, might have to.
I'll do it in a mask.
But I don't want to seem like, because like I said, I hate wearing the fucking thing. I absolutely hate it. But you know, if that's what's suggested to me, and they're saying, you know, it's going to be a big deal that if you don't, then I guess I'll wear one. You know, it sucks. It's hotter than fucking, you know, a morning piss after a good night.
You feel comfortable now that I'm doing the show in this mask?
You do look like you got a case of the chicken shits.
I'm wearing a El Pollo Loco mask. I put this on Facebook.
I seen that.
Yeah. But I'll wear this mask. You know what's awesome?
You did it for likes.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And it worked.
You're a whore.
It worked. Hey, you know what's funny? I sent that picture to my boss's boss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have my boss's boss used to be my direct boss. And me and him, he's really cool guy. He liked me. I was so happy that he's coming back to our company and everything. And I sent him that message and I said,
Along with a nude.
well, you think
you're
I'm
half
losing
cocked
weight.
about that
It's getting
shit.
bigger. But I told him, I said, hey, is it cool if I wear this Monday now that we have that mandate? And he said, and then I accidentally, like, because we have a radio station here I told you about that I joke around with. So I sent him like 3 messages that was supposed to go to the radio station, and they were jokes. And then I noticed, I was like, oh shit, I just pulled up the phone and just texted him. Like, you know,
Well, first off, you should be working right now.
Yeah, no,
Second,
this was our day off. We were off. So I sent him back a message like, hey, I'm sorry for blowing your phone up. And I was like, I'm not going to wear that mask, by the way. And he sent me back a message. He's like, well, can I? Like, he's
Hell no.
awesome. I was like, I'll bring it with me on Monday. And he will. He'll put it on, man. But I like bosses like that. People that you can work for, you know, that are just cool.
Yeah, that makes a world of difference during the day, because you know, no matter what happens, you're not going to have the same bullshit problems with this guy
Right.
that you might with these other guys.
Well, speaking of bosses, Josh, New York Post story. This guy must not have liked his boss. This is from July 2nd. So this is a couple days ago when we were filming this or taping this. Amazon delivery driver quits mid-shift, abandons truck and packages.
That's a way to go out.
He didn't give a truck about his job anymore. I hate when they do that stuff. You know what I mean? A Michigan Amazon
That's a TMZ type of fucking.
He didn't give a truck about his job anymore. And you're like, good God.
Here's Sugar Ray.
Yeah. We caught up outside with, what's an actor's name?
Kevin Bacon.
We caught up outside Kevin Bacon's house after taking a shit. It's like, hey guys, how did you get outside my bathroom? Hey Kevin, did you use some air spray in there? It's like, shit.
Do you have hemorrhoids, Kevin?
Yeah. I noticed you didn't wash your hands. It's like, Jesus.
There's a county mandate here in Les Paloco County,
And the
California.
He's trying to push him out the door. That's so invasive. Anyways, a Michigan Amazon delivery driver quit mid-shift this week, leaving a truck full of packages behind. I quit Amazon. Fuck that driver driving shit. I left the van on 12 Mile and Southfield. Y'all can have that bitch. It's full of gas with the keys in the ignition. Derek Lancaster, 22, who wrote in a stunning tweet Monday that had racked up more than 26,500 retweets by Thursday afternoon.
Here's my thing. Are they applauding this behavior?
I don't know. I mean, I get it when you're just tired of a job and you say, I quit.
I do too, but at the same time, you're kind of taking the piss out of this company that offered you an opportunity to make money for your family.
Right.
And, but I mean, hell, I would love to go into my job and quit and act a fool while doing it, but you got to write them bitches on the past prior experience column of the new job. application.
Right.
So,
Oh, unless you want to enlist a work gap.
that's what I'm saying. That work gap's a motherfucker. I had to erase like 7 years one time.
Lancaster said he was frustrated with the grueling work and long hours for barely minimum wage, but that he regrets how he handled this rather unconventional resignation. Local ABC affiliate WXYZ TV reported, "It was immature and irresponsible on my end. At the same time, enough is enough," Lancaster told the station after abandoning his delivery vehicle in a Detroit suburb. Amazon drivers across the country have long complained of poor working conditions, a ProPublica investigation revealed last year. The e-commerce giant also drew complaints from factory workers nationwide this year over handling of the coronavirus. Lancaster said he would deliver more than 100 packages over the course of a 12-hour shift for about $15.50 an hour.
I'm barely making minimum wage, man. That is goddamn like less than $1 that I'm making right now. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're making the hell out of some dough.
$15.50.
Minimum wage in Michigan is still like $7 and something. You're making double. Don't give me that bullshit.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I mean, my first job that I talked about on Before the Mics, right before this, that you can find right before this, I was making $6.25,
exactly,
maybe $6.15, whatever the minimum wage was. That was what I was making, and that company, old Sam Walton's company, didn't even want to give you 30 hours. Like they would give you 30 hours a week because
just to keep you below,
so they didn't have to pay insurance and all that on you. So that's crazy. Well, I tell you what, Josh, we're about to be joined by our guest.
I've got to use the bathroom real quick.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to tell people about the great shirts they can pick up and help out P3 Radio at the same time. Go over to tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. That's P3 Radio TEES. You're going to see a collection of T-shirts there from P3 Radio, and all of them were designed by us. They follow a theme, or they follow our logo. They follow something we've talked about on the show. Pick one of those up today. Help out small business. Help out small business. I don't know why I said it like that, but help out small business. Help out P3 Radio with a shirt from Teespring and P3 Radio. You can get that right now at tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. Once again, tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. All right, welcome back to P3 Radio. Josh, joining us on the line right now, is a good buddy of mine. He plays music. I mean, he's been in multiple bands. He also runs and owns Mojo's, which is an awesome bar down in Ripley, Mississippi. Go check that out if you're in the area. But he's a real good friend of mine. His name's Josh Smith. Josh, welcome to P3 Radio.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey, man, we're doing great. I played that intro music. And
it's very suitable.
Yeah, because I told Josh here that you would have a good story about how we met. And I think it was a couple years back.
I will tell this story. It's a pretty good story. So, I'm a musician in Jackson, Tennessee. There's a bunch of musicians. They're everywhere. So I'm playing music at the downtown tavern, and this big bald guy comes up to me, and I probably expected more of a Metallica request, but he requested Sister Hazel, and we got to talking, and he touched base with me. He's like, I've followed my dream too, and I was expecting he was going to tell me he was a musician or something like that, and he said, I'm a professional wrestler. I was like, I didn't know that they were just, you didn't see those people every day.
Right.
This is not everybody you meet in town wants to be a professional wrestler. And I thought, man, that's great. And so ever since I bought the Max Corbin T-shirt, and it's been history from then, man.
Yeah, he used to wear he had a Max Corbin shirt on for a lot of his gigs, and I would come in. I'm like, oh, he's wearing my shirt. That's cool.
That's pretty cool, man.
Oh man, I was on tour with Eric Church and all those guys, and I sported that shirt everywhere.
Yeah, he's being nice, Josh, because when he says I came up to him and suggested some Sister Hazel, it means I drunkenly yelled, Sister Hazel! Play some Sister Hazel, man. So it's kind of become this thing because you've been doing this this Facebook thing. Was it Facebook and Chill, or is it, what was that thing called? Something and Chill.
Yeah, Music and
Chill. And it's like Facebook concerts during the coronavirus quarantine. And every time I'm on there, I always just write in either whether you do it or not, it's still something like a running joke where I just say, hey, play some Sister Hazel. So, but yeah, man, we talked about this before the show, right before you got on. So it's amazing that you said that you were expecting some Metallica. We talked about this actually on a show we do called Before the Mics. It's our little setup show about how me and Josh, looking at us, you would think probably Metallica or something like that, but we do like Metallica, but we also like other things. Like Josh is a big fan of Richard Marx.
Nothing wrong with Richard Marx.
No, but I mean, but he doesn't like. But it's weird because he doesn't like George Strait.
Well, the correlation I gave him was, look, I like old country music as well, and just because I like Hank Williams Jr. and Willie Nelson don't necessarily mean I like George Strait. He's a one-trick pony to me. All this shit sounds the same. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
So
that's not a bad argument. He was never known as a songwriter, and never did a song that was really rocking. They had singers like Travis Tritt. Even Travis Tritt back in the day could sing a ballad or could sing a southern rock song. He did, he had maybe a little more versatility than George Strait.
Yeah, I mean, for me though, how could you deny Fireman? That's a good song.
I said one trick pony. That's my one trick that I actually liked was Fireman.
I know,
but I never really got into anything else that he had. I liked the movie Pure Country.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say my wife would fight you over your comments right now. Like if she was home and she heard that, you'd have to how Hulk Hogan. No, we're in the upstairs too. You know how Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage had that match that time where they were in that triple cage and they had to fight their way down to get out? That's how you'd have to be if she was here.
I'd just go out the window. It'd be all right.
But no, man, who was some of your musical influences when you were growing up? Who did you like?
Oh, let's see. I think I started. I think my first love was the doo-wop sound, Beach Boys, and some of the older music like that, with all the harmonies and the vocals and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I went through the stages. Of course, in the '80s, everybody liked horrible music, and I did my share of Falco and all that baloney. And somewhere along the lines, I came back to country music it's been the biggest influence, and the George Straits and Randy Travis has got it started, and Garth Brooks kind of took over my world for a little bit, and as I got older and older, the more I steered toward the more classic country and the words and what it meant, rather than the flashiness of it. I was beginning to listen to Merle and Willie and Waylon and guys like that, who are more prone to write a good song rather than put on a good show.
Right.
Yeah, I was a huge Randy Travis fan, not so much of his music, but his later work where he was walking naked into convenience stores. No, I feel bad about that because didn't he have some kind of like dementia or something?
That's what they said.
Yeah, he slipped there for a while. I seemed like he had a stroke and all kinds of stuff was going on there for a while, and just kind of slipping. Of course, those when you start making money, you go crazy. Money makes you crazy anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. It is funny, though. If you have money and fame, you can walk into a convenience store. But if you have like an uncle that does it, he's the town pervert.
Right.
There's nothing harder to wash off than, hey, your uncle's the one that walked into the 7-Eleven up there with his Johnson hanging out. It's like, yeah, if he had money and fame, you'd forget about this. But
if it had been your Uncle Freddie, it'd just been a buck knife and some socks. That'd have been it.
Just make a donation to your local charity. They're
Right.
just washing under the bridge, right?
Yeah, what was that old Vince Neil killed a man?
He did.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Well, like you said, I mean, you make the right police officers union donation,
Yeah.
and within a year, you got another album.
Yeah.
Right.
I tell you, man, there's so much similarities between the music business and the wrestling business. You hear these stories, you know what I mean? And you're probably like me. If you watch Tiger King, you were watching it and going, okay, yeah.
not that far-fetched.
No. What's one of the craziest things you've seen at a concert? Like, as far as, you know, fight. I'm sure you've seen a lot of fights.
Been lots of fights, man. When I was in college, I think the craziest stuff I got to see, luckily, was when I guess I was in my early late 20s. I was in a band called Shagadoo, which is a dance band. We played Prince, Kool and the Gang, Rick James, anything like that was, you know, dance friendly for kids.
Yeah.
So we hit spring break in the Club La Vila, Spinnaker, and it just, you can't really pick one moment out of those. It's just craziness everywhere. There's nakedness everywhere. There's don't look over this way. You're going to see things you don't need to see. I mean, there's something. I guess you get adolescence and alcohol together, and there's just going to be craziness. It doesn't matter what it is. You just something every night. Like, I can't believe I just saw this. You know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that was the same thing with the wrestling business. Of course, you know, I told a story a couple of weeks ago where we had a guy, I never told this story, Josh, and I'll tell it on the air. I might have, but we'll retell it. There was a time where I was wrestling at a show at the Big Kahuna. And the Big Kahuna here in Jackson was just a dance club and everything. Well, for some reason, the brilliant genius promoter that was booking our shows at the time decided he would come set up the ring, and they were going to do a what is it called, the Tough Man contest. In between fights and Tough Man, we were going to have professional wrestling. What a genius idea this was, you know, because you got two guys up there slugging it out for real, and then you got me getting a side headlock, drop down, take over, get it again type scenario. It's like, one of these things ain't like the other. So I decided I was going to get color, as much as Ricky Morton would hate me for it.
I just twitched right now. What'd you just say?
I was going to get color.
He fed his fucking family with that.
Yeah, we had Ricky Morton on 2 weeks ago, and we talked about somebody getting color, and he kind of lit into us a little bit. But
That's fun.
But I decided I was going to get color. And because I was like, man, we got to do something. You know, these guys are knocking each other's teeth out. They don't, like, it was one of those, hey, you come, it was like no offense on this because I know you're from Mississippi, but it was like the Mississippi Athletic Commissioner for wrestling. Sign up, $25, you're a certified boxer now. So you had drunk guys getting in there. There wasn't even a scale for like weight classes, man. It was just, hey, here's $25, Bill. Now you can box. So they're trying to knock each other's heads off every swing, and people are getting knocked out left and right, and there's no medical personnel on board either. It's like Big Kahuna spared no expense. So
This is Burt Prentice with some smelling salt.
Right.
So we went out there, and I cut myself, made myself bleed, and I'm like, why did I do this? You know what I mean? Like, why did I do that? Like, none of the fans cared to see us wrestle, but at the same time, there was another event where one of the fans threw a full drink at a manager. And this was during the intro, like during the entrance of my opponent. Like, I was coming out second. So the first guy comes out, and he's got his manager, and he's the heel, and he's getting everybody riled up. Well, when he turns around, they throw a full can of Coke at my buddy's manager. And it was Gary White. Gary White's the manager. Well, Gary looks at the guy, and he told me later, he's like, he had 3 teeth in his head, and I was trying to knock 2 of them out. And he hit him square in the face with a punch. Well, the crowd, like the guy went down quick, and everybody kind of like scattered, and it was like really quiet. I had no idea this was happening. So I bust out to the ring, and I'm like, yeah, and everybody's just dead silent. And I'm like, Like, come on, guys, let's go. And I get in the ring and I lock up with Kevin. And I go, what in the hell's going on? Like, it was silent. Like, we had to whisper. It's like, what's going on?
Like
He's
you're
like,
in Japan.
Yeah, he's like, my dad just knocked some guy out in the front row. So he gets me in a headlock takeover. He gets me in a headlock, and he's like, we try some things to get the crowd going. There was nothing that we could do to get them back in it. They're just appalled, like they're just stunned at what just happened. And Kevin's like, well, I guess it's time to go home. And I think I rolled him up, and that was it. So. Have you ever had a fan or a person? I know you probably have. Have you ever had an experience to where maybe like somebody at a bar threw something on stage or tried to fight you guys?
Oh yeah, that happens on a regular basis, man. I tell you what. One night I was in Tupelo playing a bar called Bogart's, and we were on a break. We were sitting just in the green room, and you hear this big banging, just bang, 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 and I go out there, and some dude who's had a bad day, man. He had a bad day. He got on stage and grabbed my guitar by the neck and just started swinging it.
Oh, God.
He had we had to press charges, and his grandmother called the next day. Sorry, I guess he and his wife had trouble that day, but he had too much to drink or too much. He took too much of something, and he got on stage and took it out on my guitar.
Have you ever had to punch somebody that got up on stage?
I've not. Luckily, I've had to talk firmly, but luckily I've never had to just get out and hit on anybody. But the security takes pretty good care of you,
right?
You know, if anything like that ever happens. There's always some big bald guy down in front requesting Sister Hazel that'll drag him off the stage if you need him to.
Yeah, and depending on how many drinks he's had, he'd probably tackle him just for coming up there and tipping you.
Right.
You don't touch Josh. Yeah, man. I always think about that comedian. Josh, did you ever see that? Josh Briley. Did you ever see that comedian that was playing guitar on stage, and he yelled, somebody's been heckling him the whole time, and he finally starts coming towards the stage, and he's like, well, get on up here, motherfucker, and he takes that guitar and honky-tonk mans the shit out of that guy.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
You've seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Dude, it is one of the damnedest things. Like, I'm going to pull it up for Josh Briley here just so he can see it. But it is one of the hardest hits. And then he tries I don't know where you go from there as a performer. Because like I said, it's just like the manager punching a guy in the front row.
Well, I think it's pretty much like you and Kevin White. We got to go home with this one, brother.
But
show's pretty much over. Yeah. Show's over after that.
I'm going to try to find it. Josh, you won't be able to hear this.
No problem.
But I'm going to show Josh so he can see it. And if I can talk and type at the same time, that'll be. But yeah, he tries to do the same thing. Here it is, Josh. It's comedian gets heckled. Sometimes they play quickly. Sometimes they have an ad on them, and this one's going to have an ad on it. But yeah,
it's Vanilla Ice working a lathe. It looks like.
Well, he's got to do something, man. He's doing that Property Hunter show now. But all right, here we go. So. Here we are.
Kenny, man, what's your name?
Oh, this is at the start of it. So he starts heckling him, and he's drunk. The guy's definitely drunk, and he's interrupting his show. Here he goes. He's got the guitar. He tells him to get up there, and then just Hank Aaron's. And then he puts his pick back in his guitar, and he goes. He tries.
The guy fucking came at me.
That's the funniest part, Josh, is what he says is, he goes, I'm sorry, man. The guy came at me. What do you think, folks? And everybody's like, no way, man. And he's like, all right, well, show's over.
He didn't even get to use his harmonica around his neck. What the hell?
But that's good, man, that you've had the luck of not having to deal with that.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad.
Yeah. What do you think about with this whole coronavirus and how much of a impact it's made on on guys out there touring, like comedians and musicians like yourself. Like, it's been hard for you guys to get gigs, hasn't it?
It has. It's completely killed that lifestyle. I not so much for me anymore. I don't travel as like I used to and play and tour, but I talk to, certain musicians. I talked to Miss Parker, Colton Parker's mom, and she was talking about how, how tough it was for him that, he's started a life in Nashville.
Right.
He's got a wife, and then this happens, and they were playing 4 nights a week, and then it's gone. Skylar Anderson and those guys moved up there before. He just had a baby and full intentions of working every night like they've been doing, and it's just over. It's gone right now. Who knows if it's coming back, man?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. When do you see it coming back? If it does.
This is the weirdest. This has been the weirdest just situation I've ever known. When is it coming back? Is it coming back? Is there going to be a new normal? We're never gonna have an outdoor concert, everybody together again. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I honestly can't see it coming back till at least next year for concerts.
Well, correlating it to wrestling, here recently I've seen a lot of some of the bigger independent promotions. They've been having like backyard happenings where pretty much you come, you have to wear a mask, there's sanitizer everywhere, and they have seats sectioned off where it's legitimately every seat is at the very least 6 feet apart from the next seat, either behind you or across from you or in front of you. It's a bit weird the way everything's spaced out, but I think with the proper laws and whatnot, whatever they instilled, they could make it happen and make it work.
That I've seen. We're kind of doing that with the restaurant. We just opened this past weekend for the first time. We've got everybody well separated, only 6 people per party at the most. But today. I get something on my phone saying, "Is coronavirus airborne?" So I mean, if it's airborne, then I expect every day to wake up and have the restaurant closed and have the whole world yanked out again, and no one really know. No one, it feels like no one really knows, what's going on, what's going to happen tomorrow,
Right. And I mean, that's the thing. I think this is going to be one of those things when we look back on it, it's going to be like how like at the beginning of like history, we started doing things. It's like, well, everybody thought the world was flat. And we laugh at them now because, or some of us do. Some of us still think that the world's flat, but we laugh at them now going, oh, isn't it funny that they thought they could, sail off the end of the earth? Well, you go back and look at it now. In like 10 years, how are we going to, it's like they put up plexiglass everywhere.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to know more about this as we go along, and we're going to see probably some of the precautions we took were like, ooh, I can't believe we didn't take more precautions there, or hey, we took too many precautions here, So, like I said, it's going to take a while. I think the only thing that's going to really help with concerts is A, people are going to have to get creative. Or B, there's going to have to be a vaccine. And I think things like what Garth Brooks is doing, he's doing a tour of drive-ins. So he's setting up by the screens and doing his concerts and having people drive in. That is, to me, ingenious. That's creative.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take something like that, especially something for like comedy. But the only thing about it is, and we talked about this, it's like there's 2 regrets that you have on that, Josh. It's A, when you get up there, instead of a drunk guy heckling you, he's going to be honking his horn. and B, we won't get that R. Kelly concert with the give me that toot toot. It's the perfect thing, give me that beep, beep, beep.
He missed the boat.
Yeah, he missed the boat. If he wouldn't have done what he did, he could have done drive-ins, and that song would have been super popular.
Right.
But
I don't know if that may work on that large scale. I don't know if that can work at the weekend, bar band or whatever. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I mean, it just puts so many limits on you to have that much of a separation for concerts and stuff like that.
Right.
I tell you, from a wrestling standpoint, having no crowd there, Man, and WWE started doing it with like what AEW is doing, that like where they put wrestlers out in the crowd just to give it some kind of noise. But dude, and if it doesn't work in wrestling, but it works in UFC, having no crowd there in UFC does not hurt UFC at all. So go figure.
It's a different world, I guess. The wrestling, when I watched it, I agree. It was naked without the back and forth. The best part of the wrestling is the wrestlers back and forth with the audience, the hatred or the love from the audience.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to replicate that without there being the live audience, And the difference, the UFC, you kind of stand by your fighter and watching. I kind of watch in silence anyway when I'm watching UFC.
Right. It's kind of like I'd much rather watch the Randy Travis surveillance video than these two guys clusterfucking to a symphony of silence is what we used to call it. But speaking of wrestling, you said you watched a little bit of. You're from Mississippi. Did you catch any Memphis wrestling growing up?
Oh, dude, we were blessed about once a year that they'd come through our hometown, Rifton, Mississippi. They set up in the school gym. It'd be Jerry Lawler. It was always the head match was Jerry Lawler and somebody versus, and the Moondogs were always there. And my favorite was always Handsome Jimmy Valiant. He looked like, even back in the 80s, he looked like he was 140 years old. But he got out there and he always put on a show. Man, I loved it. I remember the Nightmares, Danny Wayne, and I can't remember everybody's name. But Rock and Roll Express, all those guys, man, they were all heroes of mine when I was growing up.
Well, Josh here, Briley's uncle is actually one of the Nightmares, Danny Davis.
Yeah, it was Ken Wayne.
Danny Davis, that's right, yeah.
And Ken Wayne was the other one. Yeah.
Yep.
Kenny Wayne and Danny Davis. Yeah, I love them, dude. And of course, you have the fabulous ones and Tojo Yamamoto. I was a big fan of his. He was older when I finally started watching, but he brought his kendo stick out and did his damage,
Yeah, I think Tojo was older when everybody started watching. He was another one of those boogie woogie men.
Right, yeah, he was one of my mom's favorites, so that was kind of cool. But we did that. Of course, that was my younger, and then the WCW and the WWE, WWF, whatever all that stuff was in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
just kind of took over the world, and we would get together. We would, somebody would pay for the $29.95 pay-per-view on the Sunday nights, and we would watch it and imitate it, and straight up through college. I was probably way too old to be, watching and imitating wrestling as far as our parents thought, but we did. We loved it, and of course, our claim to fame was we went to Tupelo, Mississippi, and we went to the WCW, and Ric Flair is coming out, and we got good seats, and we're all bowing to him, and he saw us and pointed at us, and that was, since then, it's all been gravy since then.
Yeah, it was something about Memphis wrestling when you went to it, when you were a fan. It was more interactive than, WWE would come to town.
Yeah.
And, you would have those guys come in and they would never go cross the guardrail. They would never, it just looked like they were going through the motions when they came into town. But then you had there was one time where Memphis wrestling came to Northside High School here in Jackson, Tennessee, and Brian Christopher's in the ring and he's got his Southern heavyweight title on. And one of our friends goes, "Hey man, can I hold that belt?" He goes, "Let that kid hold my belt." So
we all got
pictures with it. Hell, who knows what's happening in the match? We're all taking pictures with the belt. Like, look what I won! I beat Brian.
That's cool.
So it was always something.
This guy was a cool dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was really good about that stuff. And coming out afterwards and signing autographs and stuff like that. You didn't get that with the national thing, and I think that's why Memphis hung around for so long, is they were fan friendly. One thing that Memphis wrestling and all wrestlers do is they do these things called ribs, and I don't know, and ribs are just basically practical jokes. It's just something they do on the road just to kind of keep the mood light. And do y'all do that with in music when you're touring? Do y'all do any kind of practical jokes or any pranks on each other?
I think musicians are kind of known for not having very long attention spans, so if we do, it's just kind of out of the blue. Nothing was ever really planned as a practical joke.
Right.
I know one time we filled a trash can up full of cold water, and dumped it on Jonathan while he was trying to take a shower. But we were a bunch of drunk stoners running around, so whatever was funny at the
time. Speaking of which, I remember there was one night you were performing at the Tavern, and it was like it was a summer night when I was off, but you were performing, and we had a decent crowd out there. But I sent you a couple of drinks, and you had a couple of drinks. And I remember going up and talking to you like in the middle of like an intermission, and you were like, "You're pretty gone." And I go, "Josh, how are you doing this, man?" He's like, "Just muscle memory, man." But I looked at you and I was like, well, "Okay, well, that's cool." Well, you got back on stage and you made one of the funniest towards the end of the night. You did one of the funniest things I've ever seen somebody do with a John Cougar Mellencamp song. You were singing Jack and Diane, and you sung pretty much the whole song. And you got to the last part where, he goes back over about little ditty about Jack and Diane, and you just you strummed and you go, "Little titties," and you just started laughing. And like most everybody started laughing, and I'm like, "Yep, it finally caught him." You can't run from ever.
Yeah. I had a good autopilots, man. You'd get to that stage where you just had to kick it on autopilot.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if you have your guitar with you or not. I didn't know if you were going to play anything or not today. Or I know you were doing shows on Facebook still. Are you still doing any of those?
Yeah, we ever since the restaurant opened back up, I slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
I even brought Man, I don't have my guitar. I brought it and I left it in my darn van. The wife ran off with it. I brought it home from Mississippi just to do this, and then she dropped me off and took off, and I forgot to get it out.
Oh, that's fine, man. Well, tell people how they can follow you to watch those shows. And hey, if you watch the shows, Josh usually has like a little Cash App or Venmo thing there. Man, Venmo him some money for his entertainment. It don't hurt to do that. And I'm telling you, Josh is one of the best singers around. And, offer up something for him to play. He'll play it for you. And he's really cool, man. But yeah, hit him up on Facebook. How do they find you, man?
You find me, is J.A. Smith on Facebook there, or Reverend Jesse and the Holy Smokes is the best way to find my music. REV Jesse, Jessie, and the Holy Smokes. And, if you want to keep up with my music, that's a good way to do that. And of course, you can find us. Listen to the music. You can find us on Reverb Nation, Spotify, and all that good stuff. Just under Reverend Jesse and the Holy Smokes.
Yeah, like I said, if you see him on the live performances, man, he's, like I said, one of the best singers around here. And me and my family just love you and your family to death, man. And hook him up. Watch some of his stuff and Venmo him a tip and let him play some music for you. Because like I said, during this whole quarantine, man, when you started doing that music and chill, like you definitely scratched the itch for me and my wife, and we wanted some live music. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah, it was awesome. But man, anything else you want to say? I mean, we've pretty much done it, man. I don't know if you realize
great, man.
We've talked for 30 minutes. And it's like crazy. But yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of it. I'd love to do it again. Rich, well, nice to meet you, Josh. Nice talking to you.
You too, man.
Hope to talk to y'all again soon.
Well, man, go and check out also Mojo's in Ripley. Like I said, Josh, thanks again for being a part of P3 Radio.
Yes, sir.
Well, that was pretty cool talking with Josh, man.
Yeah.
This is
had
actually
a blast.
His band right here.
He's a good friend of mine. He lives across county line. Gotta be there to pick him up by night. I need a little something just to help me unwind. Want no whiskey, don't want no wine. There's only one thing I've been looking to find. Give me past blue ribbon and past blue ribbon to the fire. Drink past blue ribbon and my honk talking all night long. Guitar.
Pretty cool. Yeah, you can find this video by going to YouTube and typing in Reverend Jesse and the Holy Smokes, PBR, video shot in Jackson Studios. Yeah, Josh is a really cool guy, man. like I said, most people would look at that whole thing. Like I said, I wasn't joking when I said practically that was me heckling him. I wasn't trying to heckle him. I was just wanting to try to get him to play a song, but technically he could have told me to shut the hell up and he would have been within his legal rights. Like he could have looked at me and went, "Shit! Shut up."
I fucking hate Sister Hazel. Do you hear the type of music I'm playing?
Yeah, he plays a lot of country. You, like I said, you've heard him play, I'm sure.
Probably. With the beer goggles. And beer headphones.
Now, what is this Michael Hayes thing that you have pulled up here?
Well, that's on the music line too. I didn't know if you had ever seen the Michael Hayes Bad Street concert that he had in Dallas.
He had a concert?
It was a whole concert.
Did he have more than the one song?
Dude, they had a whole album back in the day. They did. And this is part 2 of the concert. And pretty much...
the encore?
It ends like you would think a Michael P.S. Hayes concert would end. In Dallas.
Somebody gets shot?
Oh, no.
Is it
better.
JR? JR gets shot? Oh, damn. They shot me. Who shot JR? Get it? In Dallas?
Get it.
Yeah. Play on words. I don't know what you're doing. Like a monkey trying to fuck a football right now. What are you doing?
This is part 2. You know what's so funny? Whenever my mom asked me one time, she said I was watching an old tape.
Yeah.
And she said, "Who is that? I recognize him." I was like, "That's Michael P.S. Hayes." "Oh, yeah. He always looked like a rock star to me." Well, he kind of thought he was. But
he kind of was.
I guess in a sense he was.
Other than the Rock and Roll Express, what other like rock star type
what in the world's he doing?
That
looks
guitarist.
Weird. But the funny part was, this is in Dallas in the 80s, so who else would you think would show up to the concert and start singing with them? Carrie and Kevin Von Erich, right?
Oh, do they?
So I'm going to fast forward it because I'm not too sure at the actual part.
I thought you were going to have a horror story there. It was like, who is that singing? That's Michael Hayes. I'd fuck him. Well, thanks, Mom.
Let's see where we're at. Where are the boys?
They got a crowd, man.
They really do. It was successful.
Did they ever do another one? 1988. People are going crazy.
They got Kevin and Carrie on stage, handed them tambourines.
Just so long as it's not a gun, I think you're okay.
Listen to that pop. This is a rock concert. All the Von Erichs do is come out and give the Texas sign, and the girls fucking go crazy.
Got the unpopular Von Erich with the tambourine.
Kevin was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
You just don't understand.
He dropped the damn tambourine.
Well, what else would he do?
Carrie can't clap on beat.
You ever try to take 10 Halcyon and use a tambourine at the same time?
Carrie's over here. I don't know if this is a fever dream, man. This might be a fever dream.
They're playing LaGrange, though.
Now, was this before or after Carrie's incident on the motorcycle?
After.
Oh, wow.
He had the incident in, 1986. Look at them bell bottoms from that dude. This is 1988. What the fuck? Oh, my God.
What?
That's Buddy Jack Roberts in the back.
They just look lost.
And that's Iceman King Parsons.
Oh, they made a storyline out of it.
The Iceman just assaulted
Iceman
Michael Hayes.
Iceman wasn't taking no shit, was he? Man. So they made a storyline out of it.
No, this is all real.
Carrie didn't even sell a nut shot. Did you see that? Yeah, because you're going to do a torpedo discus punch.
A torpedo
discus punch on stage.
There's the nut shot.
He's already kicked him twice.
He didn't sell it because he had to get his shit in.
And then a drop kick.
Von Erich drop kick on Parsons.
He's going to honky talk man him. Oh, he hit Michael Hayes.
Well, there it is. Buddy can't run fast enough, so Carrie caught him.
They were like, "Don't knock over the drum set, shit."
Now everybody's like, Michael.
I think that first punch from Iceman was legit.
Probably was.
Did you see that
Well,
shit?
I mean, it's like dealing with a damn tranquilized bear that's still mobile. I mean,
I wonder if who would have. I wonder.
good night, everybody. Just like we were talking about with Josh.
Show's over, folks.
Show's over. We can't move anywhere past it. The lead singer just got guitared into the fucking head.
Man.
And they think if they yell Michael a lot loud
The
enough,
concussion will go away.
he might hulk up.
Isn't that the damnedest thing? It's like, this man probably has a concussion. He's already sensitive to light and noise. Let's just shout his name and turn on all the
Well,
lights.
it didn't help the fact that Buddy Roberts hit him with the corner of the guitar instead of the back. Kevin's trying to incite a riot.
Yeah. Him and Iceman going at it. Yeah. They don't do shit like this anymore. They don't do a 2-hour live concert
And end it like
and
this.
end it with a storyline. You know what I mean? That's some build up right there, man. Dude, I love that. I absolutely love that.
And like I said, that was it. Also, on the music kick, our past guest here, Ricky Morton, he had a B-side.
To the rock and roll boogie woogie
Dance Hall.
dance-hall.
It was a record, and it had a B-side. I never knew what the B-side was.
You got to close out that Freebirds tab.
Oh, damn. Kiri and Kevin are still fighting. We need to kick some ass.
So explain a B-side for some of our younger listeners.
That is the other side of the record.
So you had two sides of a record. You had the main side of the record, side A, that had all the hits on it. Then you had
Sometimes it was just that one.
sometimes it was
the
just
single.
the one song, and then you had the other side. You also had B-sides on tapes.
Right.
So you had the A side, which would be all the good songs, and you flip the tape over and listen to
a
it.
lot of times it might be an instrumental version of the single and then another song.
Right. I mean, it wasn't ever really like, it was songs that they probably just threw together like, shit, we ain't got enough for an album. Well, here, just sing the ABCs. I'm gonna play some songs.
Well, a lot of times too, the B-side was we're hoping that this one will be good too. And
Yeah.
we're going to put it in hopes that you might turn it on the B. That's how some hits were made famous on old school radio, was because we accidentally put on the B-side instead of the A-side.
I wonder if they have any singers singing like David Lee Roth singing the ABCDEFG.
I'm sure with some of his prior suitors, he just sung it just to relate to him.
Pop. All right, let's
Bless
play
you.
that B side. Roll that beautiful B footage.
So this was the B-side to Boogie Woogie Dance Hall by Ricky Morton. What's it called, Richard?
Feel like a nut. When I get a little high,
I go nuts with you.
any truth that Ricky bladed during this song?
Oh no, not during the song.
So afterwards, did Ole Anderson come into the studio? Ole and Gene.
Listen,
Hey, I like a good saxophone in a music performance. Don't you?
no.
No, I love a good saxophone break in a music, especially like a rock music.
It only applies to like certain deals, and Feel Like a Nut is not.
No,
one of
no,
them.
no. I mean, I don't like it in this one. Where was Robert Gibson in all this?
He's doing this in the background.
Looking at everybody in the room at once.
Well, people thought he was staring at him, but he was really looking over at the wall.
Like that old Jeff Foxworthy bit where he was like, my mother-in-law don't know how to whisper. It's like, she tapped me on the shoulder and was like, don't look now, but the guy behind us is cross-eyed as a bat. He's like, he was mad. I don't know who he was glaring at, but he was mad.
Well, when somebody says that, immediately,
you got to look.
Like,
that's what Jeff Foxworthy said too. You got.
That's what kids do, at least. I mean, now don't look, but
don't look. But at your 4 o'clock, I mean, we've all got that friend that'll do that too. It's like, hey, dude,
look over there.
Check this out. Don't look now. But there's a chick over there with huge boobs, and it's like, where? It's like, motherfucker, you gonna try to
Motherfucker!
You're trying to catch us a charge.
You can't get no charge for looking at boobs. I'd be fucking state prison right now.
Well, dude, I see what you've got pulled up here, but I do want to say this. I have spent the last 2 weeks, and I just remembered, we've got some phone calls to play too. So we got to do that before we go. But I have spent the last 2 weeks watching this guy named Jim Browning. I told you about him. Yeah. He's got videos all over YouTube of him like messing with scammers. And some of the funniest stuff they've done is remove every file from the scammer's computer.
Right.
Like they get on there.
I've watched some of that Kit Boda guys.
Yes. And then they lock their computers and stuff. Dude, it is awesome. But I see you've got a scammer pulled up here. What's up?
It's one that actually won. He won. Well, at least until what happened to him. But
he won?
The title is The Nigerian Email Scammer Who Stole Millions from Premier League Club, NY Law Firm, Banks. So, I mean...
So he stole millions from a soccer club, New York law firm, and multiple banks, I'm guessing?
Yes. And, a lot of times, a lot of their emails, their bullshit emails, are not very convincing. You got fucked up English, words that shouldn't be inserted.
Hold on. We've got something for that, Josh.
This asshole fucked these words up, man. I mean, he's got words that he don't even need.
And a lot of times you see through the bullshit with with your inner grammar police.
Right.
But this guy apparently now they don't have a sample of his work obviously, but they said his stuff was so convincing that he was able to rip off that major soccer league and law firms in New York and banks and the like. His name was Ramon
Razor.
I don't know how to say his middle name. Abbas.
Ramon Olaronwa.
Abbas.
Olaronwa Abbas.
But he went by the name Ray Hushpuppy with an I. Hushpuppy with an I. And made no secret to his extraordinary wealth. On an Instagram account with 2.3 million followers, he posted photos of himself dripping in high-end watches, wearing robes with his name...
I see Hush Puppy on his robe there.
Yeah, I mean it was he'd have like he was going to the ring or something, and it would be embossed on there and stitched up for him. And driving $300,000 Mercedes or a white Rolls Royce, I don't even know how to say that. Imagine that.
Where are we at?
Rolls Royce Cullinan.
Where are we? Hold on.
Cullinan.
Show me with the mouse here. Where are we at?
Cullinan. Rolls Royce Cullinan with the hashtag all mine. He took private jets to Paris, shopped at Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and indulged in cakes depicting himself surrounded by Fendi bags, whatever the fuck those are. His address...
Sounds dirty, whatever it is.
It does. Fendi bags.
Come over here and put them Fendi bags in my face.
Her Fendi bags were so big. Oh, I'll probably get a charge for staring at them.
They give his damn address here, too.
1706 Palazzo Versace in Dubai. Well, damn. He's a Dubai man. But on Snapchat, he went under the name Hush Puppy 5.
Hush Puppy 1 through 4 was taken in the original Hush Puppy.
He called himself the billionaire Gucci master.
But he couldn't get Hush Puppy, just the regular Hush Puppy.
Oh, no, somebody else owned it.
Yeah.
But Abbas claimed to be a real estate developer But his wealth was instead the result of running elaborate email scams and hacking schemes. The U.S. federal prosecutors argue a rare example of a Nigerian email scam that actually fooled major companies into handing out millions of dollars. So, like I said, the FBI is investigating him, and he's only 37 years old, man. He's
really?
not like
he looks older than 37.
Yeah, I guess living that crazy lifestyle, going private jetting and eating cakes with his picture on them and shit.
And, you've gotten those scam calls, too, and we're going to play one that I had just recently. But you've gotten those scam calls, too, where you go, who falls for this shit? You know what I mean? And then you find out when you watch those Jim Browning shows and the Kip Gaboda, whatever that show was that you were just talking about, Kip Bagoda. I can't think of the...
Cat Boda, or whatever you say it.
Well, when you watch those and you're like, these are obviously fake. Who's falling for them? But when you watch those shows, you're like...
Everybody's falling for them.
There's a lot of people falling for... They make enough money that some of these people have the high-end luxury suites, and...
But the Nigerian prince scam has been around since like the 80s, man.
Right.
It's something that fucking Joe Pedicino fell for it with Global Wrestling Federation. That was supposed to be the money man. And
was it Nigerian prince?
It was. They said that on air, dude, and it didn't work out. And then they had to get some more money marks that were a family, and then that family ran out of money, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean.
But yeah, one actually worked. He was a part of a money mule type deal. I guess there was other co-conspirators with him or whatever, but yeah, he got through. I couldn't believe it.
That's crazy. And most of these are all happening. I did see something that's really cool that they've started doing. Like a lot of these scammers use what is that, TeamViewer?
Yeah.
Well, TeamViewer now has an update that if you have an email address, if you have somebody trying to share your computer through like a IP address that registers from Dubai or some of those areas, it'll tell you, hey, make sure you don't share stuff with this person that might be a scam. It's coming from a well-known scam area. So,
well, they're profiling. That's wrong. You can't do that.
Well, I mean, you can always just decline and just say, okay, whatever, cool. Cool deal, Bill. I'm going to keep moving.
You know that ain't how shit works nowadays, Richard.
Dude, I know this much. You can put whatever warning you want to on anything, and people will still click on that shit. Like, I know we have, I've seen a warning go out about, like, especially with emailing. Like, at work, we have a thing that comes out with emails. And at the top of it, if it comes from an outside source, it'll say, hey, this came from an outside source. You might not want to mess with it.
Proceed cautiously.
Yeah. There's people that don't even read that. They're just like, oh, sure, let me click on that link and send you my email. It's like, come on now. I don't know I'm hoping this is going to play, Josh. I've got a scam call for us. I don't take too many of these anymore because, I kind of got busy with work and everything, so I don't really have a lot of time. Well, this week, I did get a scam call.
I don't believe you. Play it.
If it'll open. So let me see. Show in folder. Oh, here it is. It's going to play right here, hopefully. We'll cross our fingers.
Come on now. Let's go.
Now, this was a different one, Josh. Hold on. Let me do this. Thank you for calling. All right. So what happened was they called me and said that my account. No.
Your account is broken, bro.
Not my account. My Social Security number had been suspended.
You're legally dead, bro.
Yeah. And this happened to my wife once, and she was like, and I was like, what in the hell? So they got your Social Security number? She's like, no. Listen to what I said again. My Social Security number has been suspended. I'm like, she's like, how the fuck do you suspend a Social Security number? I was like, oh, good point, And they said, we do have an arrest warrant for you. Please call this number. And I sent you the number, and I was like, oh, we got to fuck with. We need to call them on the air live today if we can.
I tried to call them, and there was a bunch of rings and no answer.
No answer. All right, so I called them back, and this is what I got.
Your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order it was received.
No, we know short people like No people like no sharp people around here. Sounds like a Randy Newman song, don't it?
You made it sound like one.
But
This is some of that Indian Disney music.
You got a friend in me. This sounds like what you would hear if you were calling the FBI. You know what I mean?
I've never called the FBI.
Or whoever this is that's arresting me, that will have me arrested.
They're trying to keep you upbeat.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
don't you run away.
Here at the FBI, we want you to know we care about you and your arrest warrants. Oh.
You have reached the Social Security Administration. Can I help you?
Social Security Administration, can I help you? It sounds legit, right?
Oh, yeah,
Already.
he sounds totally legit.
Yes, I just got a call saying that I was going to have an arrest warrant issued.
Okay. Well, then your line is disconnected.
Okay.
He's like flipping through trying to find the script arrest
The template.
warrant. It's like, we've got overbank charged. We've got car warranty. Oh, here it is. Arrest warrant.
Connect with me. This is Officer Eric Wilson.
Oh, now he's an
will you please
officer.
help me with your name so I can...
Now he's an officer. Eric Wilson. to be-
Officer Eric Wilson.
Here we go. Let me rewind a little bit.
You have reached the Social Security Administration. Can I help you?
Yes, I just got a call saying that I was going to have an arrest warrant issued.
Okay. Well, then your line has been connected with me. This is Officer Eric Wilson. So will you please help me with your name so I can check and pull up your file?
My name is Mike Mayer.
That's my go-to every time. And
Sorry?
and it fucks with them.
Mike Mayer.
Okay. Give me a moment.
Yeah. They never know how to spell the last name.
Well, they're loud at the Social Security Administration.
Yeah. And I love how it went, thank you for calling the Social Security office. How may I help you? I had an arrest warrant issued for me. Okay. Well, this is Officer Eric Wilson.
Like,
man,
he's an old school, old
Yeah.
Western guy. He took the damn banker hat
Yeah.
off and put the sheriff cowboy hat on.
Would this have anything to do with the stuff that happened in San Diego?
I'm trying to push it along because so far it's just dead. And I'm hoping he'll say yes. You know what I mean?
No.
He's not a good ad-libber, this Eric Wilson.
Okay.
Good.
So I try something else. I'm like, good God, how long are we going to keep me on the phone?
Well, I've had my license suspended. Would that have anything to do with this?
Give me a moment. I'm checking it, okay?
Okay.
How's he checking it? Just with my name, Mike Mayer. You know how many Mike Mayers there might be out there?
I dare say just one.
You think just one?
Us.
Just us? Hold on. I'm going to Google search this. Mike Mayer. Yep. There's one.
And he's famous.
Yeah. He's a musician, an artist.
He looks like a real douchebag.
He does hip hop rap. And he's holding a guitar. Oh, I think we're doing him a favor.
He claims he's a composer. Of what?
All right, here we go.
Will you help me with your zip code?
My zip code.
It's 10108.
Now, I gave him that, but you know what that's from? So when I was a kid, we had this show on Nickelodeon, and the pre-show, like the show in between the commercial, the host of the afternoon block was Stick Stigley.
Yeah.
And he had this song that said, "Write to me, Stick Stigley, P.O. Box 962, New York City, New York State, 10108."
I didn't remember all
and
that.
it's stuck in my head. So anytime somebody like this asks me for something, 10108. Which is a New York.
Sorry?
10108.
Which is a New York, I guess, zip code, if it's still a zip code. It wasn't.
Okay, Mayor, I got your call out here. So the reason you received the call today is to inform you regarding some legal enforcement action filed on your social security number. We have got an order to suspend your social at this right moment because we have found many suspicious activity done on your social.
Now, he
Did you
said
receive
that you had subspecies activity on your social security number account.
Yes.
There is so much wrong with
Oh,
that
it gets
statement.
better. Like you'll
Subspecies.
Yeah, you'll see like when you think social security number, some suspicious stuff. What do you think?
I think somebody's been trying to buy a house with my name.
Wait until you hear what has happened. It's the damnedest thing, Josh.
Any calls from your local police department?
Not yet, no.
So they want to know, hey, have you gotten a call from your local police department about this?
Well, in that case, I'm going to provide you all the information, and I'm also going to explain you what exactly happened with your social. But before I do that, just to make sure that I'm providing this information to the right person, will you please verify
Pause
me
it.
with a...
I'm just waiting on you to turn heel in this mother. Well, let me tell you what.
No.
Motherfucker. Y'all gonna have to come in here and kill my ass. Take me alive. That's the fucking facts. No heel turn?
No heel turn.
You what exactly happened.
I'm cooperative, Josh. I don't want to go to whatever country's jail this is. I want to be cooperative with Officer Eric Wilson here.
You don't want to end up in a Peshmerga jail?
But before I do that, just to make sure that I'm providing this information to the right person, will you please verify me with the last four of your social?
2493.
Okay, let me tell you what just happened there. He said, before I do this, I want to make sure I'm talking to the right person. Give me the last four of your social. And at this moment, we're both bullshitting. Because 2493 is not the last four of my social, or hopefully it's not the poor Mike Mayer's last four. Maybe I guessed it.
Well,
Maybe
I think he's
guessed
from
it.
Germany, so
Yeah.
we don't have a problem.
Yeah, so at that point he goes, okay, yeah, checks out.
Well, now I'm going to provide you some information, so please grab a pen and a piece of paper.
Now, here's where they catch motherfuckers. So they scare them to death with, hey, your social security number has been suspended. But here's where they catch people, Josh. They give warrant numbers, they give badge numbers, and all that information.
Down.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
Let me know whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. But what happens with my Social Security when it gets suspended?
Well, let me explain you what is going on first of all, and then I'll explain you what will happen, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, don't get out of turn, motherfucker.
Look, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're trying to
with
jump
this.
to 6 before I get to 4. Now, let me make it believable, Mr. Mayor. I've already authenticated your social. So let me make this perfect.
Looks like your credit score is real shitty.
Okay. First of all, I want you to note down my name. My name is Eric Wilson.
Okay.
Okay.
And my badge ID is 417.
417.
Letter J.
Letter J.
2741.
2741. Remember that, Josh.
And now, note down your case ID number.
My
case
case-
ID is
DC
7010.
7010. I guess they put DC in it for like Washington D.C. So maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, note down your warrant ID number. It's 53
This is my warrant ID number.
75 42.
Some of this is boring. There's just one punchline in this whole thing.
I didn't
Josh.
know you had a warrant
Now, I will
ID
go
number.
ahead and read out the legal charges against your name, and I'm also going to explain you what exactly happened.
Okay, so here comes the legal charges. Now, we talked about this, Josh. When somebody has your social security number, what do they do with it? They go out and try to buy a yacht, or they try to buy stuff on Amazon,
Or get into the country.
yeah, they go out and get a credit card. That's the kind of stuff they do, right?
Assumingly.
Listen to what this motherfucker did with Mike Mayer's social security number.
Before I do that, I would like to notify you that this line is a recorded line,
Yeah, it is this way too, buddy.
and I'll have to submit these recordings in the courthouse. So while I'm speaking, please do not interrupt me in between.
Yeah.
I will give you fair enough time to speak and to rest your questions once I'm done. Okay?
All right, here we go.
So, your social has been found suspicious of criminal activities in the state of Texas. Have you ever been to the state of Texas?
So the state of Texas, Josh. State of Texas.
I've never been to the state of Texas before.
Okay. Well, but it's because we are taking this issue to the FBI headquarters as we're having strong evidence that are enough to prove you guilty inside a courthouse.
Because, this is the way the FBI does things. They call you to give you a warning.
And they said
Hey.
that we've found enough evidence to find you guilty inside of a courthouse.
That's like,
as Officer Wilson just said.
yeah. And it's like, because that's the FBI doesn't think that you'll ever run from them. They just call you up. Hey, we're coming, fucker. And they hang up.
We got enough to get you in the courthouse.
Yeah.
Now, the investigation started when we found an abandoned car in the south border of Texas, and the car contained some blood and drugs inside.
All right. So they found a car in Texas with blood and drugs inside.
Well, I can already tell them they got the right man. That's what I.
Was it my prescriptions? There's my gout medicine. Shit, I've been looking for that.
After investigation, we found that the car was rented on your name and on.
It was some suppositories and some bloody remnants of where I'd been sitting in the car.
Right. So the car was rented under my name.
I'm sorry, man. It was
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I had to go get
Imagine
them.
this was the FBI agent. I'm like, listen to this fucker. All right, here we go.
Your personal social information. And there are 2 addresses linked with the title of the vehicle.
I don't know what the fuck he said there. 2 addresses belong with the side of the thing and the ticker and the.
Hey, Decker, this is Vince Neil. Hey, I want to say,
Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell did you just say to me? All right, here we go.
Address is in the city of Raleigh, that is in Dallas, Texas.
So it was in Dallas, Josh. Imagine that.
That's
one of the biggest.
nowhere near the border.
Yeah.
It's like 5 hours away from the border.
Which border?
It was near the border.
We're talking about the Arkansas border.
Well, it's fucking 3 hours away from that.
Yeah. The little border town of Santa Fe, New Mexico. or no, what was it? Helena, Montana. The little border town.
It's raided by U.S. Marshal, but unfortunately there was no one inside the residence. But we also recovered 32 pounds of cocaine, and abusive drugs.
2
Guilty.
pounds of cocaine, Josh.
You're guilty.
They found in a car that was registered to me.
So they just called you.
Yeah. So just say, hey.
Who's apparently a international drug dealer now.
Yeah. So here, let's.
Hey, man, was this yours?
I'm gonna play it again.
U.S. Marshal.
U.S.
But
Marshal.
unfortunately, there was no one inside the residence.
Oh.
But we also recovered 32 pounds of cocaine, and abusive drugs, and also some documentation from financial institutes, such as Chase Bank, Bank of America, and U.S. Bank.
Oh, they found 2 pounds of coke and 2 pounds of coke. That's a lot of fucking coke. and they found bank forms where I was trying to get loans.
Because we all know that we store our financial records
in the glove
from
box.
3 different banks, mind you, with our cocaine stash.
Yeah, and just leave it in a car in Dallas and just take off.
Oh, apparently you bled everywhere and then ran off.
Where was
right?
the probable cause to search that car, motherfucker? Was something happening? What was the probable cause? That's what I should have said. I didn't think about that.
This entire paperwork has the name on it, and thousands of dollars have been wired from this bank account, locally as well as internationally.
Oh, did you hear that?
Locally as well as internationally.
The bank account, the one bank account, from all the three companies that he named there. Apparently, they just let me have one account to make things easier for Mr. Mayor.
He was street magicianing you.
Yeah.
To where he was like, I need a person with a birthday in March, person with a birthday in June,
Yeah.
person with a birthday in July. Oh, there you are.
What's that thing? Was
he
like
was talking to me.
That whole, I had a loved one. Who had a loved one die tragically? Oh, I'm hearing
Somebody
something
in
from
the
him.
audience.
He said something about a blue basketball. That's not you. Somebody else. Somebody about blue basketball.
Anybody have blue balls?
Yeah.
Everybody have blue balls in here.
It could just be a cow or a dog named Blue.
John Edwards crossing over.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Which is totally suspicious to us.
Oh yeah, we were letting go of the blood and the 2 pounds of cocaine, but this bank shit, this is kind of suspicious. I think we might be onto a crime.
So I would like to know,
was it yours?
Do you hear that? Because most officers, when they call you and they want to question you, they do it by phone most of the time.
Right.
I would like to know, do you have anything to say regarding this case and your criminal activities?
Defend yourself!
Are you involved in this criminal activity?
Are you involved in this criminal activity?
You got me.
We were just calling to check up, it don't look like something Mr. Mayor would do, but,
Now, I rented a car in Arkansas a couple of weeks ago, and I turned it into what I thought was the right place, but, it's very well possible it could have been stolen. Now, the cocaine might have been mine, but the other stuff, no.
And then they hung up.
He's like, this motherfucker, we really came on to some shit, man.
You called the drug czar! Scratch his name from the list. I love fucking with people that call me like that, It's just... Sometimes I like for them to just take their time and get it out.
Right.
Because just to know when they hang up, they go, oh, motherfucker.
That Kit Boger guy, that motherfucker, he had some, you have wasted an hour of my time, motherfucker.
Right.
Like, they curse his kids and his family and everything. It's
Hey,
great.
man, 2 weeks ago or a week ago, we talked to Gene, and Gene said he knew a guy that he wanted to send our way. He would send us a message later. And we got this message on our phone line. I don't know who this guy is. I figured you might know who it is, but it was weird to me. So I guess it must be from Gene might have known him or something.
It's one of Gene's friends, I'm thinking.
Okay. All right, so let's play this.
P3 Radio. It's old Greg. Waddy Jenkins told me to call you to promote Mud Show Mania. I'm going to be having a match there against a midget. I guess you can't say midget anymore. I guess it's supposed to be vertically challenged or fun size American. His name's Knee High Ned Navarro. We're going to have a match where the loser has to drink Baileys from a shoe. I wrestled all over the world. I wrestled in Mid-Atlantic, is old Greg. I wrestled in Japan, is old Greg. Then when I went to the NWA, they called me old Greg. Then when I was in Continental, I was Thunderfoot number 4. P3 Radio, I need to promote my midget match at Mud Show Mania. So call me back. I'm old Greg.
Old Greg.
Sorry about blasting out your headphones there. I had to turn the one up and I had to turn that one down.
And just so we're clear, old Greg, it's short Americans.
Short Americans. But yeah, I don't know who that was. I think Gene might have known that guy. Or
Gene's buddy Whitey Jenkins.
Yes, okay.
Gave him the number.
Well, we got another call too, Josh. I don't know. I haven't even heard this one. I heard the first one. I heard that one at work, and honestly, I laughed through the whole thing. But this one's weird too. I don't know who this is. And we'll hit play for me, Josh, if you don't mind.
Hello. Hello, is this the P3 Radio? Hello. Hello, is this the podcast? My name is Coronado Celedonio Nieto Cespedes III. But my lucha libre's name is Le Saber. You know, like the Buick. Le Saber. That is my ring name. I wrestle for Senor Whitey Jenkins.
Another Whitey
Jenkins. He tell
Jenkins.
me to call the P3 Podcast Radio to promote the Macho Mania. He's coming up sometime. I don't know. He don't tell me the date. He just tell me to call this podcast to promote the show. Is this hello? Is this podcast? Is it hello? Hola, señor. Is this por favor? Is this podcast? Can you hear me? Hello. I never do podcasts. I'm new to America. I don't know what's happening right now. Is this podcast? Hola. Hola, señor. Is this... Hello. My name is Le Saber. Coronado Celedonio Nieto Cespedes III. Le Saber. Like the Buick. See? Hola.
Le Sabre.
Let's do Le Sabre a solid here and tell everyone to catch Macho Mania coming up sometime. I mean, I guess you'll have to get with Whitey Jenkins on that.
I think Whitey is the go-to guy, and Whitey's Mudcast is just launched, I believe, last week. And man, it's something.
We'll have to get Whitey on the show and talk to him about that new podcast, Josh. I feel like that would be interesting. I feel like he might have a whole cast of characters and things coming to his show.
Well, I mean, midgets and Macho Mania, you can't whoop it. Can't whoop it with a stick.
Well, that's going to do it for us, Josh, for this episode of P3 Radio. If anybody wants to know how to find us on any of on any social media or any of our shows, how do they do that?
Well, on Twitter, we are at P3 Radio, the number 1. On Facebook, put in that search bar Pop Poncho, and you will see our profile. And if you want to get with us like Le Sabre or this other gentleman did, call us, leave us a voicemail, or send us a text. We might play it on the show. You never know. Our phone number is 731-300-6675.
That's going to do it for us. For Josh Briley, this is Rich Mulligan saying thanks for listening, and good night.